Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to play some more Eternal Glory. So, we already did is means routes, which is chapter 1 and 2. We need to do there too. I'm going to do Heisen or Uria. Okay, I'm going to probably do Heisen last. Chapter 1. The Door of the Cage. Eventually, I choose the Divine Ministry, since it's the organization that carries out the will of the gods and handles administrative tasks. I figured it must be the closest to the gods. But no matter how close, being a mere subordinate won't get me any closer to free myself from the curse. If I want to uncover the truth about my curse, if I want to break it, I must get close to the head of the Divine Ministry. Though our encounter was brief, the silver-haired, golden-eyed man who was the head of the Divine Ministry seemed the most kind. That was a great relief. Since he had at least shown some formal kindness, I believed he wouldn't heartlessly reject me, even though I couldn't use any magic. Clutching the professor's recommendation letter, I start walking. Fortunately, this time there is no casualties, no injuries, no deaths. But I know I have to repay the debt for the accident I caused someday. With each step, the sharp corner of the notebook in my pocket painfully jabs at my chest. I keep this notebook to record all the incidents that have occurred because of me. Thankfully, nothing had happened during my time at the orphanage, but now that the curse had started flaring up again, painful injuries would begin to fill the pages. I had made sure to record the details of the end fire. I'm sorry, everyone. I didn't want this to happen, even though it wasn't intentional. I really didn't want something like this to ever happen again. I'm sorry for putting you in danger because of me. Especially to the innkeeper. I'll make sure to compensate for your losses. So please wait a little longer. Just a little longer. My steps now more determined, finally came to the hall in front of the magnificent building of the Divine Ministry. It was fortunate that the recruitment period for the Divine Organizations was open, allowing me a chance to join. But unfortunately for the professor's recommendation, and my own presence felt far from liable. Still, I stepped into Divine Ministry. I'm here to apply for the Divine Ministry. Oh, we don't see him like we did last time, where we got walked in. I managed to find the office of the person in charge of the entrance examinations after asking around. But as soon as I entered the office, the person in charge gave me a very suspicious look. That made sense, as applying to the Divine Ministry required excellent magical skills, and applicants were being accepted only for magic. But I couldn't use magic. It's like, okay, this is probably the worst one to get into. So I have no choice but to come in person and submit my application along with the professor's recommendation letter. Didn't you read the notes properly? It clearly says we only accept applications via magic. I'm sorry, but I can't use magic properly. What? There was no way to completely hide the fact that I couldn't use magic. Even if I somehow submitted the application through trickery, it would eventually be revealed during the official test and assignments. So I decided to be honest with my situation and do my best to convince him. He's like, no. But that's over. Even if the person in charge raised his voice and glared at me, this was something I had to endure. What do you think the divine ministry is? Do you think someone who can't even use magic can join the divine ministry? I have a recommendation letter, does that count? Even though I can't use magic, I'm confident I can contribute to the divine ministry in our ways. I even have a recommendation letter from a professor at Primary Academy. What? A professor at Primary Academy gave someone like you a recommendation letter? Am I supposed to believe that? Ask her boss. Do you think I'm a fool? There's advanced magic that verifies the efficacy of documents. Why do you use the magic to check the efficacy of the recommendation letter? Huh? He was visibly flustered when I brought up the details of advanced magic. That's understandable. It must have been surprising for someone like me, who can't use magic, to know such specific details about advanced magic. Advanced magic is what you need to even have a chance at entering the divine ministry, so his reaction made sense. Well, it seems you've done your academic study on magic. He barely managed to compose himself and accepted the recommendation letter. Light spread from his hand as he cast a spell, wrapping around the recommendation letter. It was clear from his casual casting that he thought I was lying. However, the result was, of course, the truth. It's like I told you so. An undeniable truth that left the person in charge wide-eyed in disbelief. That this professor really wrote you a recommendation letter? Yeah. He even seemed to recognize the professor's name and started bombarding me with questions. Still, I remained calm and answered each one. With each response, his mouth dropped open wide, or as if in shock. My goodness, what is this? I heard there's an application here to submit an application person. Oh, so this is the, his assistant, probably. At the moment, the door to the office burst open, and a woman with peach-colored hair confidently walked in without knocking. Lady Ori. Oh, she was the one we heard last time. I can't remember exactly since we played the prologue. Despite her sudden, unannounced arrival, the person in charge seemed more relieved than surprised. You come in just in time. I was just speaking with this applicant, and unbelievable truths kept coming out one after another. It sounds like you were having a hard time. You could have just called for me, the head's personal assistant. I would never bother Lady Ori with such trivial matters. Is it making me come here in person even more disrespectful? Oh, so he did call you? They did call you? That person. As I quickly watched their conversation, I realized where I had seen the woman who was in the head assistant. In the prologue, she was definitely the one who bumped into me in the old ruins when I met the three heads. So that's why she appeared so suddenly. She's the head of the Divine Ministry's personal assistant. Then that settles it. Come with me. What? Who are you referring to, Lady Ori? Let's see. Before I knew it, my application was in her hands. So this is your name, Digitwave? Yeah, yes? Alright, follow me, Digitwave. Lady Ori? Lady Ori! The person in charge paled as her expression her unexpected demand. He seemed to hope that she would change her mind, but there was no way he could go against the decision of the superior, so above him. In the end, the person in charge had no choice but to let me go, looking like he had a million questions he wanted to ask. May I ask you why you called me separate lady assistant? Please, just call me Ori, Digimon. As soon as we left the office of the person in charge of the entrance examinations, Ori turned to me with a bright smile. I don't think we need to use formal titles between us. What is it? What is this? Why is the head's personal assistant being so kind to me? Ori's attitude was full of mysteries, but I responded to her kindness to avoid getting on her bad side. Okay, I'll call you Ori then, but it's like definitely a lot different route. It's like no formal titles. What do you mean by saying we don't need formal titles between us? Because the head himself has called for you. Excuse me? You just asked why you were called separately, right? That's because I've been asked to personally guide you to the head. Ori. I can't pronounce his name. It wasn't just anyone. He specifically chose me to bring you. It seems he has something special to discuss with you. So I need to treat you accordingly, as he would. What on earth is happening? Everything was full of questions, but I didn't even have time to ask if I was hearing this right. Before I knew it, I had been led by Ori to the office of the head of the Divine Ministry. I'm coming in, Lord Ori. Urine, yeah. I can't pronounce his name. After a knock, the door of the office opened, and at the head, sat the head of the Divine Ministry staring at me as if he had been waiting. As you commanded, I brought Digimon. Welcome, Digimon. What's going on? Startled by the unexpected warm welcome from the head of the Divine Ministry, I wore a serious, confused expression. But no one paid attention to my reaction, and the conversation flowed naturally. Well, it doesn't flow naturally for me. As I did, if I'll try to speak with Digimon alone. Ori, please leave. Speaking the stuttering. Understood, Lord. Lord. Oh, my ward. I'm just gonna say my ward. As soon as the door closed behind her, the head of the Divine Ministry smiles deepened. Smile deepened. So this is your name, Digimon, right? Yes. We met before, haven't we? I'm sorry. If I was disrespectful back then, I didn't know you were the head. It's alright. It's completely understandable. But if you admitting you were disrespectful, I assume you didn't have a good impression of us. Probably you more than the other two. Especially after playing the route and getting stabbed in the heart. So what changed your mind? Why did you decide to apply to the Divine Ministry? Behind the head's bright smile, I had a strange and unsettling feeling that he's already knew everything. Stay focused. I can't talk about wanting to meet a god or spoiling my curse. I need to come up with a reason for applying. I steel myself and clench my fist with determination. I always wanted to join the Divine Organization since I was young. But the circumstances didn't allow me to pursue it until the professor from Primary Academy wrote me a recommendation. So I did, because yeah, they made him write the recommendation. So I didn't want to miss the opportunity and decide to come directly to the divine ministry. I see. Does he believe me? Alright, that's good. Your passion for joining the divine ministry is clear. Oh, thank goodness. However, the basic requirement to join the divine ministry is ability to use advanced magic. Can you demonstrate that for me now? About that. Basically quirkless. Except for the curse. You don't need to show me anything extraordinary. Just the basics of advanced magic will suffice. Darn, just when things seem to be going well, I hit a major obstacle. It's okay, I knew this would happen from the start. Taking a deep breath, I put a troubled expression and explained the situation. I wanted to tell you this earlier, but I missed the chance. The truth is, I can't use magic. That's unfortunate. You need to use a lot of magic to work in the divine ministry. Is there any role that doesn't require magic? Even if it's just a minor job, as I said, it'd be my dream to be part of the divine ministry. Well, normally no, right? Your passion for the divine ministry is truly admirable. But even as a trainee, or at a lowest rank, you must be able to use advanced magic. I rose with a sinking feeling that my choice, which I thought was the best, was actually been the worst. As I glanced up at the head of the divine ministry, I saw he had also lost a smile and was deep in thought. But strange, his complexion, his contemplation didn't seem entirely negative. Is he thinking of an alternative? Just as I need a god, the head must find me useful, despite his suspicions. It's like, they have to keep us be close because of the curse, though. After all, the red-shirt head even suggested taking me away. These people are determined to uncover everything about me. Just as a glimmer of hope began to form in my thoughts, he spoke again. But something does seem strange. After a long silence, the head of the divine ministry finally spoke, breaking me out of my thoughts and putting me on edge. Humans in this land are generally born with at least some magical power, though to use basic magic at the very least. Yeah, I'm the one person. I'm basically quirkless here. Of course, there's rare cases of people born with no magical powers at all, but according to this recommendation letter from your professor at Pre-Marie Academy, you were quite skilled in magic when you were young. Yeah, that was about the curse. So it seems you weren't without magic from the beginning, but lost ability at some point. I suspected of the head. His observation was finally accurate. So, when did you stop being able to use magic to drive? This was truly an uncomfortable situation. To explain why I lost the ability to use magic, I would have to reveal the curse at its root. And there was no way I could discuss that in front of the head of the divine organization, which led a hostile attitude towards curses. It's okay if you don't remember exactly. Could you give me a rough idea of the time? If I withdraw my application to the divine ministry now, it would only make me seem more suspicious. In the end, I have no choice. There was only one way out. I had to lie, concealing the truth about the curse while pretending to stay calm. I don't think it'd be best to lie, though. I think it was around my mid to late teens. There was a major event during the time that changed your life. Can't remember the part clearly. I see. It seems like most of your childhood memories were vague, considering you couldn't recall anything about the house fire when we met last. Like, oh yeah, you guys know I had the curse. I already know. Alright, I just have one more question for you. What do you want to ask? Did you live in the house where the fire happened until your mid to late teens? You don't need to answer specifically. Just tell me if anything comes to mind. I think so. I think I stopped living in the house sometime around my mid to late teens. Once again, I lied, acting as if nothing was wrong. For some reason, the head of Divine Ministry smiled. A smile grew wider. I think we're giving them the answers, too. Digimon, you're 21 years old, right? Yes, that's correct. But you said you lived in the house until your mid to late teens. That house burned down 9 years ago. Even if we stretch the definition of mid to late teens, I'm pretty sure we can't count 12 years old being in that range, can we? Yeah, no, we can't. Yeah, maybe, not lying to the person. Darn, I didn't think of that. It's like I kind of would. We're here to investigate traces the worst curse that struck this place 9 years ago. You're not very good at lying, Digiwife. His voice thick with amusement sent a cold sweat down my spine. I was on the brink of giving up, ready to make a final statement about canceling my application to Divine Ministry. It's alright, I imagine someone like you has a complex circumstances, so it's understandable if you lie. As I said, I won't ask you any more questions. Unlike the calm tone of the head, my face had turned as bright red as a beet. I deeply regret not mixing in half-truths and half-lies instead. But there's no point in crying over spilled milk. I anxiously wait for the head's next words. Please just let me go. I'll stop with the questions here, but there's one more thing I want to check. What? Now, take my hand, Digimon. Suddenly, the head of the Divine Ministry extended both hands towards me. Unsure of his intentions, I hesitate, but since I already resolved to escape, I figure I would go along with it for now. Just as I'm about to cautiously extend my hands, he spoke again. No, take both gloves off. Take off both gloves first, Digimon. However, his next quest was something I couldn't comply with. Removing my gloves would reveal the curse mark on the back of my hand. I'm sorry, but I can't. I quickly withdrew my hand and hid them behind my back. I'm going to give up joining the Divine Ministry. It seems I'm not qualified to be the part of it. I'm sorry, Jidwave, but that's also a problem for me. Yeah, because he knows. What? I've already decided you'll be my apprentice assistant. Excuse me? I thought you already had an assistant. What did I just hear? The person that escorted you to my office earlier is my personal assistant. Ori? Mahel? She'll be your senior from now on, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask her anytime. So he puts us close to him. Wait a minute. As I said, I can't use magic. I just lied to you. It's fine, don't worry, Digimon. If you can't use magic, then I will create a position that doesn't require magic. As for lying to me, I'm willing to let it go, so there's no need to feel guilty. What on earth is this? What's up with this guy? It's like... You need to stay with him. If it's difficult for you to take off your gloves, hold my hand. And hold my hand, that's fine. I'll let it slide as well. But... Just stay still. So when the head of divine mystery was right in front of me, cupping my cheek with one hand, I tried to lift my arms to push him away, but for some reason my arm felt as heavy as if they were weighed down by sandbags. Magic? Really, don't worry. I'm not doing anything bad. I just want to check whether you can use magic again or not. So, ask him if he's serious. You're really just checking my magic, right? Yes, I am, trust me, Digimon. Accepting the warmest words this man could offer, I felt the pains died a little. Good, Digimon. It must hurt a lot, but thanks for enduring it. Just a little more, you'll be over soon. Smooth by his gentle encouragement, I began to feel my vision blur. It was as if I was dreaming, my mind gradually becoming foggy. Even in the face of the head of divine ministry, right in front of me, became too blurred to recognize. In the midst of it all, there's no need to be worried of me. Only the voice of the head of the divine ministry remained clear in my ears. And then, it happened. This is dangerous. Soon, I instinctively realized, as if I didn't stay on guard, if I didn't push him away right now, I'll be consumed by this dizziness, swept away by it. I have to. You must get out. Suddenly, a piercing ring filled my ears, snapping me back to my senses. Regaining control of my body, I immediately pushed the head of divine ministry away. The head of divine ministry, who came into focus, looked very serious. But he allowed himself to be pushed back. I managed to regain my freedom, taking deep breaths repeatedly. Just as I gathered my senses and was about to glare at him, completely forgetting the difference in rank. I'm sorry, Digital Wave, for pushing me out like that, trying to do something. I'll know where the head of divine ministry apologized to me first. This is an extremely high level magic on one of the most difficult ones, so you probably wouldn't know about it. It's a spell that checks the magic level of someone, but during the process, the recipient feels a lot of pain. You might want to tell someone about the pain part. That's why, when using the spell, it's common to use magic to restrain the person. I'm really sorry, but did it hurt a lot? It was fine. I couldn't bring myself to say that it wouldn't be better if he had explained it to me beforehand. Even if he had explained it, I would have definitely refused, so the head probably had no choice either. He already had significant doubts about me, after all. But understanding him didn't erase the undeniably comfortable discomfort I felt. But why did you feel the need to check my magic levels? Even if I create a non-magical position for you, there may come a time when you eventually have to use magic. I want to see if your magic will be able to. You might be able to use magic in him, just in case. And what were the results? Without a doubt, you're top tier. Latent magic is abhorrent, even overflowing. But it's truly unfortunate that despite that, you can't use magic. As the head of the divine ministry lowered his gaze with a sorrowful expression, I really wanted to leave. However, perhaps due to the after effects of the magic, I stumbled when I tried to move. Thud. As a result, the notebook I had carefully kept in my arms fell to the ground, flipping open. The head of Divine Ministry picked it up and handed it to me. He seemed genuinely remorseful, and unlike before, he didn't glare at its contents without warning. Thanks to that, I received a notebook without revealing its contents, but the first sentence of the page reads, "The entire third floor of the inn was consumed by flames." Which, if he saw that, he got faster than that. He got that information faster than our last route. I suddenly felt completely awake. Yes, the reason I'm here is to prevent my curse from hurting others, not just hit me. The reason I wanted to join the Divine Ministry is to find a way to lift my curse by meeting the gods. I made up my mind about that, so I can't waver now. I bit my lower lip, lifted my head with a strong, more determined expression. "Are you alright, Digimon?" "Yes, I'm fine. And I've also decided to accept your generous offer." It's true that joining the Divine Organization has been my dream ever since I was young. But I do have one request. Was it, since I caused you some discomfort, if it's within my power, I'll grant it. I want to know how I can meet the gods of the land. The gods of the land? I can pronounce it. For someone like me, an ordinary person, we know nothing about the gods. But since you're the lead the Divine Ministry, I believe you must know more about the gods of the land. Of course, I'm not asking for this without offering something in return. If I succeed in meeting the gods, I promise to help you uncover the truth about the curse in the event of 9 years ago. It's me. There's your answer. The head of the Divine Ministry closed his eyes and fell into deep thought for a long time. After a stint in silence. Oh, I did not know I could do that with the... Alright, I consider how I could help you with what you want. At last, I had succeeded in gaining the cooperation of the head of the Divine Ministry. After following her guidance, I was assigned to a room in the Divine Ministry's dormitory. Though unfamiliar, the uncomfortable environment helped me relax, and the drowsiness quickly overtook me as the tension faded. Even though I had learned an unpleasant truth, the head of Divine Ministry had finally sided had a fraying side beneath his kindness. I felt relieved that despite being the head, he apologized, escorted me to the dormitory, and even allowed me to use a name deserved only for his closest aides. Thankfully, it didn't seem like life in the Divine Ministry would be as difficult as I had feared. And although he was surrounded by ministry, the head, now called Uria, Uria didn't seem like such a bad person after all, and I felt so relieved. As I let out a deep sigh of relief, I soon fell into deep sleep. Unfortunately, the situation is more serious than I thought. Okay, now it's raining. I heard you even created a new position just to accept the woman. What on earth? Digiwave is definitely connected to us somehow. Wait, us? You don't mean... Does she affect the balance of the land? Yes, so we must be careful from now on. And make sure that Heisen doesn't find out. Understood. I'll keep it from Heisen until we know for sure. Why is my body burning up like this? Something was wrong. I had been sound asleep, but suddenly a fever spread through my entire body like wildfire. The problem was I knew all too well what was causing it. Why is the curse acting up again? Was it enough to burn down the inn, to get expelled from the academy, to lose my parents? Why does it keep trying to take everything precious from me? Oh, thank you for honking. Even though this situation was familiar, I had never experienced heat this intense. Even the day I lost my parents couldn't have been this painful. And it feels like the curse is about to explode. I tried desperately to grip the bread sheets, but my body wouldn't move. Not even when he subdued me with magic did I feel this overwhelming helplessness. Knock, knock. Suddenly, someone knocked on my door. Oh no, I can't speak. I wanted to shout for help, to tell them to come in, but my severely swollen vocal cords wouldn't function. Did you wave? Maybe the one person who could help me right now was standing right outside my door. But no matter how hard I tried, my body wouldn't budge. Okay, nope, because we're gonna wait for the next. We're gonna do the next chapter next time. So if you want my content, please subscribe, like, help out, and comment down below. See you guys next time.